What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to the page, to the channel, all the things. We're gonna go over some editing tutorials and techniques today. Today, I'm gonna be using Evoto AI, super dope editing software. It's something I highly recommend for intermediate to expert photographers and image retouchers. Notice I said image retouchers and not editing. Lightroom is something that I think people have been using for years, and it's completely fantastic to do. But Evoto, in my opinion, is just a step above in regards to just really focusing on portrait photography. So we're going to get started with opening Evoto AI. I have it open here. Going to click create project. I'm gonna make sure I tag the company in the description as well, just in case you may not be familiar with it. I just want to show you why I love it so much. So we're going to go ahead, title our project here. I'm gonna do a maze. This is an image that I actually have edited before, but I always keep my raw images. I separate them in folders. Edited images too, just in case I got to do any further editing or raw images. So I'm going to go to raw images here. I'm going to open them all. I always kind of select like the 10, 15 best photos that I like out of the photo shoot before I start anything. It's kind of just called culling, you could say. And I kind of go from there. So with every image that any photo shoot I do, I always try to make sure that the actual photo shoot was good. Like I never try to save the photo shoot in the editing process. You know, a lot of times people are like, oh, you can just edit that out. You can just edit it out. No, we're going to take it right the very first time. So you can see that these photos are pretty good. You know, it's pretty well lit. We had some coconut oil. I was able to give her some coconut oil, and she, put it on her skin to kind of get that beautiful shine. But of course, you could see the outward edges and stuff like that from our photo shoot space, and that's actually what's behind me here. Shot with a gray background. I have a light in the back of her as well to kind of really separate her from the background there. So I have that light behind her. So that's where that shine is. So I'm going to kind of start from the beginning to show you how I would go about editing. So let's start with this image here. The first thing I would do is I would crop the image. On the right hand side, you have the crop tool. And the reason why I want to crop it is because for social media, more so for Instagram, which is where people share most of their photos. In order to be able to see the full screen of a carousel, it's usually a 4x5. So I try to edit in a way that it lends itself to that. And nowadays I shoot all of my photography vertically, so that way it can be easily be shared. These are headshots, so I am gonna crop it so that way it focuses more just on her face and it's centered, and I got her hair and I got a little headroom, and then bam, this is the image that I'm focusing on. This is the part of the photo that I'm focusing on editing. So over here, it's a lot of different tools. You have auto corrections, you have multi-image color consistency. All those different things create a color reference. It's so many cool features that this has, but I always usually limit it to maybe about 2 or 3. Sometimes I don't even venture off into where I could potentially go, because I'm taking a good photo in general and I'm just retouching, putting slight tweaks on what I'm already doing. So the first thing I would like to do is actually add a preset. And what this does is it's going to affect the person's skin in regards to, let's say, any blemishes or anything that you might see. So I'm going to zoom this all the way in here, and I'm going to select headshot 1. This is obviously a headshot. So what this does is it's going to automatically apply certain presets here in our portrait retouching area. It identified her as a female. It turned like freckles and acne up to 50, dark circles up to 15. It's like it basically just, edits the skin before you do anything. So you probably can't tell what has actually changed. And I have a before and after here. This is before. This is before. This is after. So let's do like a little comparison. Let's bring it in just a little bit more. All right, so this is the original and this is after. The touches are very slight. It's very, very, very slight, but I can tell that it brought up some of the shadows. It smoothed out the skin here, but more than anything, it didn't change what she looks like. A lot of times people expect photographers to just change what they look like, and you should never be changing what the person look like. You should simply just be retouching what's already there. So from there, I'm happy with this. If I wanted to go in and remove any type of blemishes, like let's say I wanted to remove this part here, then I can go into like the healing tool to just simply healing tool or the patch tool or the clone stem tool. Or spot healing tool here. I'm going to actually bring this up just a little bit. And what this does is it just allows me to be able to make modifications to specific parts of the photo, just like that. So let's show you what happened before. Now, this could be something that's on someone's face or something like that. This is something that you might want to change, or edit. And what this does is it samples the other parts of her skin and it estimates what it looks like. So that way you could kind of, smoothen everything out and make it look good. So let's say I wanted to get in on another area here. Just want to make sure we're not. Okay, so let's say we have this little mark here. So because this is so big, I don't want to remove her tattoo. So I'm going to lower the size of this. I'm going to just click there. This is something that you'll mainly, do with a person's face. Let's say it's just some blemishes or anything like that. That would be like retouching their face. If you so choose to, or you could just kind of make different little modifications here and there. So I always kind of really just watch how much I retouch and edit, because if I do this with one photo, look at how many photos is down here. You got to do it with every single one. So, I just kind of make my changes here. I click OK. And from here, bam, I have a great cropped photo. It's a 4x5 image. The photo in totality to start with is good. We've already did our retouching in our presets panel, which presets has everything from warm skin to film, cinematic, different headshot, lifestyle portraits. This ranges from super editing to kind of just slight editing. So, or retouching rather. Scratch, I said editing. And what that does is it affects your portrait retouching here. So it's like these presets affect this portrait area here. So it kind of makes any modifications. So if I wanted to go in and kind of get in a little bit more, doing the preset is a good starting point. So, all right. So from here, I want to actually change the background. I want to change the background, and doing it with the dark gray backdrop is really good in regards to changing the background. So there's a couple different ways I can do this. So let's go ahead and go to our color adjustments. We're going to go to masking, and it's going to ask me, do I want to edit the person, or do I want to edit the background, or do I want to edit everything? I just want to edit the background. And I want to be able to simply just play with the colors, see what makes sense, see what type of vibe I want to go with. We can go with, something that's yellow. We can go with a combination, create a brown look. Excuse me. Go with something like that. And that's a good way to be able to kind of edit the background, so that way you can then you know have a background and also be able to just shoot on a gray background and be able to like change it to whatever your heart's desire. So it's like, you got purple, blue, different things like that. So this is why I love this tool, is because it's so versatile, so very versatile in terms of what you can do. We still, again, in terms of the actual shot, we set up the shot so that way it makes it that the editing I'm doing is just retouching. It's just simply doing minor things to be able to make this happen. So let's kind of go through and just see if we could do a little bit more retouching. You got the hair, the eyes, the makeup, a lot of different things that you can do. I don't typically touch a lot of this stuff. All right, so we have the stray hair removal. So let's say she had some stray hairs. We could always just slide that slider up. I never slide it to the top or anything. I always kind of keep it I'm very conservative with it. So if you ever want to see your changes, you can go before, after, and you'll be able to see what changes that you're able to see. So smooth hair shine enhancement, so many different things that you can do. I see that there's like a hair color feature. I'm not sure if this is going to actually change your hair color or not. Okay, looks like it's trying to. Okay, so it's like it turns it red. Let's see if it turns it blue. I'm just testing this out. Okay, so all right, cool. So we're definitely gonna click none because we want to keep her hair as is. So yeah, this is what we are able to do. I'm gonna do a little bit more of a solid background refinement. Can enhance the background here. If we wanted to go all in and just simply use the background changer, which is going to be another opportunity to be able to change the background, you can do that here as well. So that way you have more of a artificially created background. And there's a bunch of different backdrop options. You can also upload your own backdrops. I actually uploaded some for a shoot that I did. So these are like green. And, it's always cool to just like go through and see what works. You can create your own gradients, something like this. Let's say we wanted to go with something like this, but, she's a little bit, looks like she was just kind of placed in there. And we want to kind of bring a little bit of synergy to it. So we can always select retain shadows. We can also bring some of the intensity of the background down, which is, again, like I stated before, I never shoot anything at a full, have anything at a full 100% because it may look a little artificial, but you start at about 50% and you have the texture of the original, but just not as intense. And you can definitely get a really great look with just that. So let's say I wanted to change it to be brown here. Because in my original image, I have it as like a purple look. what the background does is it kind of blends the two here. So let's say I wanted to kind of keep it like a purple look, and I wanted to make it a little bit more harsher. Say I'm bring it, or maybe rather I want to lower the opacity. I'm gonna make it a little bit more brown than I can. Yeah. So these are different ways that I use the tool. There's you can add a shadow here, go through it, kind of make different, slight adjustments. But for the most part, this right here would be a final product for me. If I wanted to go in and make any more changes, then I know I could, or I could bring in my own images as well. I like this brown right here, really makes her pop. And again, this is going off of the original image that I took. So let's kind of do a back and forth here. This is the left side is the original photo. The right side is the retouched photo where I smoothed out the skin. I changed the background. And I made some minor tweaks. You could always make some tweaks around the hair as well, if you so choose to. So yeah, those are just a few things that you can utilize this for. I think it's a super great tool, and I think it's definitely for people that are, maybe not just getting started, because I think Lightroom is good, but I think Evoto AI is probably the best tool for intermediate to expert photographers. So if you guys have any questions, please ask me in the comments below. But, till next time, this is how I edit.